Welcome back. We are here for round one, and we will keep this hand. It's pretty sweet. Got the Spell Shrivel into Coastal Discovery curve. GLHF. Oh, we're on the play? Alright, cool. The Spell Shrivel just got much better. Playing Sandstone Bridge there because I forgot that we need to have the plains and the island in play in order for the Canopy Vista to come in untapped. But it's okay because we didn't draw turn 2 play anyway. Not that it really matters. Mist Intruder. Well, that's not good. We're doing way too hard to deal with that right now. Oh, just kidding. So now we get to hold up Spell Shrivel and play Courier Griffin next turn. We don't even have to worry about this Mist Intruder. We are playing the Mirror though, which is kind of weird. And we're just going to take the opportunity to Spell Shrivel this, especially since it's kind of annoying and we can't really block it profitably for a while. Unless my opponent has main deck Dispel. Oh, that would be a blowout. Main deck Dispel is something worth considering in this format, actually. Alright, cool. Just value on value here. What did we get exiled? Just an island, that's fine. Just the literal mirror, okay. So, the problem with our hand right now is it just got a bunch of late game cards. Sort of. To Drew Stalwart. Sure. We'll just play the Skyline Cascade and hope to sheer drop that to Drew Stalwart next turn. And we might... if we're going to do that, I think we Coastal Discovery now so that we can try to draw into a land for next turn. Okay, cool. We're not attacking. So yeah, I think that was a good decision. Like, Awakening Coastal Discovery is a lot of value, but I think it's more important to be able to cast our spells. Alright, so I guess I'm not chump blocking the Tajuru Stalwart, is what you're saying. I'm taking 4 here, down to 17, which is fine. Alright, cast with Awaken, target this thing. And I like targeting my spell lands because, like, short of my opponent having Crumble to Dust, it doesn't really matter which land you target, and it'll, all things being equal, it allows you to identify it a little bit better. So you can take that one. That's a free tip for you. We're not going to attack. Fortified Rampart. Whatever will we do? My opponent might have like a clutch of currents also, so like bouncing Sandstone Bridge is so much better for me than just bouncing a plains. Hopefully, my opponent has 2 cards in hand right now. So hopefully, like, Bane of Balaged mixed with Exert Influence will get us there. Rush of Ice. Okay, that's not nearly as bad for us. Especially since my opponent just cast a Rush of Ice, although it means that we can't untap, like, we can't cast Bane of Balaged this turn. I think we just steal it. As per usual, we're holding up the Lithomancer's Focus. And we've gotten pretty lucky with what our opponent is hitting so far. It's like lands and fortified ramparts. And also our opponent is, well, no, I was about to say, our opponent is stuck on 4, but that's not true. We stole his 5th land. Or her 5th land. Sure. I'll block. I wonder what our opponent is doing with all of these ingesting cards. Planning on doing. Gideon's Approach. No, that was my answer to Mist Intruder. Land. Sweet. Now we can just serve with these guys. Also, the lands have haste, just not until end of turn, just forever. Which means that if it had been untapped when we stole it with Exert Influence, we would have been able to attack with it right away. That's a little interaction that you can put in your pocket for later. Alright. I wonder if our opponent's going to loot with the salvage drone. I would. Alright, cool. They did. And we'll just play this 7-5. Have fun. Good luck. I'd say this game is going according to plan, pretty much. Alright, cool. Do I want anything against the aggro deck? Not particularly. Like, Scour from Existence would be pretty funny. By aggro deck, I mean, like, weenie deck. But I think we just run it. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. It's kind of an awkward hand, but it's also just a fairly reasonable hand. So we're gonna draw oh, hey, an island. I was gonna say, we're gonna draw that swamp and just be sad. I might hold off playing Lantern Scout until I can pay Serene Steward mana, unless my opponent just plays something that, a Core Castigator that I want to block with Serene Steward. Which they did not. That also kind of gets me the option of playing Gideon's Reproach on turn 3, if my opponent does play a Core Castigator or something. It's kind of awkward, but I think the value of placing a counter on Lantern Scout and making it a 4/3 is pretty good. Stasis Snare. Alright, well, in that case, I'll play the Sildrazi Sky Spawner that I just drew. Stasis Snare is a pretty good card. The reason that we're sequencing this way is because, well, Lantern Scout gets a lot more value this way. Especially since that was our only other ally. Our opponent's deck has some cards that are, you know, better than ours, but that's a lot of lands. Holy smokes. So we're just gonna attack. I could attack with the Eldrazi Scion, but I kind of like the option of holding up Gideon's Approach and gaining a bunch of life off of Blighted Step. Holy cow. Knowing that they have Stasis Snare, and kind of seeing that their deck is a little bit less aggressive than I thought it was, makes me kind of feel better about bringing in Scour from Existence, which would be a pretty sweet trick to play on their Stasis Snare should we lose this match. Or lose this game, rather. Rush of Ice, sure. You've got it. Oh, yeah. Should probably pass. I don't think I block with my Scion if my opponent attacks with their Scion. Yeah. I'll take 2. Tightening Coils is a pretty good draw here. I'm just gonna play Blighted Step and attack, though. I don't think I actually play Tightening Coils. Especially since my opponent has the propensity to produce a couple more threats than I really feel like dealing with. Gideon's Approach is probably going to hit the land. I don't know, though. I feel like that's a little bit of an overzealous use of my cards. Yeah, my opponent has to have bigger stuff. Also, they're playing green. Like, legit splashing green. Whereas we're just, like, illegit splashing green. Clutch of Currents. Well, I don't think I actually do anything with that, so I'm just gonna sacrifice this now and gain 6 life, and then I'm gonna take, and then I'm gonna go down to 17 basically if my opponent hits me. And then I can Tightening Coils that, because it's apparently the biggest thing that they're doing. I wonder if they're getting in with the, yeah. There's really no point in not getting in with that Scion. I'm kind of paying 2 mana for my opponent to have a Fortified Rampart. Especially since they don't have anything exiled, which is super awkward. Otherwise I could just bounce this thing. But it's tapped for now, which means that I can just attack. And my main form of pressure is in the air anyway, so it matters a little bit less. And we're not going to be able to get in with Lantern Scout anymore. So it might be worth just trading off with Incubator Drone, maybe. What you got? Ruin Processor. Wow, that's pretty good. I don't have anything exiled for you, friend. Take it. so I might have to start utilizing my encircling fissure. Alright, cool. A land. Just what I always wanted. Still winning the race though, which is nice. Too bad I didn't have one more mana bladed step. I wonder if Rune Processor is my opponent's like biggest game. Ooh, for the full blowouts. Cool. Awaken. Target you, target this thing. So I'm hopefully going to get to eat their incubator drone. Munch. Okay, opponent did not play anything. I keep expecting like an Emiria Shepherd to come out of nowhere and just bash me, which would be bad. Just for anybody who's curious. I wonder if I could afford to take 7 from the Rune Processor. Maybe. So we're just playing the Merc Strider here. We're going to target the planes. I don't think we're chump blocking this turn. Our opponent might also just have like a Clutch of Currents. No, they already used both Rush of Ice and Clutch of Currents. I think we only passed one. It'd be kind of interesting to go back and see where they were sitting next to us. Like I always want to know that like after the draft. Yeah. If they had attacked there and they have nothing going on, then we would have just crushed them. So there's that. Wavewing Elemental, go! And now we have our opponent dead in the air. They don't have anything. Which they very well might, but nope. Nope. See, like, from decks like this, I assume that there's, like, planar outbursts and Emiria Shepherds in my future, but apparently they just drew nothing while we drew gas. Just 100% pure high-octane gas. Alright, so that was a pretty simple, I'd say, 2-0. Although our opponent was down like 8 minutes compared to us, which is kind of judging your opponent. Like, that's fine, you do you, but really? 8 minutes? That's... Anyway. So yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay tuned for round 2. See you then.